Welcome back to the Real with Joseph Labin, Sunday Live edition. I hope you guys are having a good weekend. Thanks for tuning in to Sunday Night Live. I'm going to be joined by my man Mike Antonace and my father. Welcome back. If you're new here, hit the like, subscribe, share button for me. Leave a comment below. Definitely hit the like button for me. That helps me with the algorithms and pumping out this channel and this content. We got a good Sunday Live for you guys tonight. We're going to react to Deshaun Watson's preseason debut. Probably his only game he'll play. Maybe if he plays, it'd be one more quarter or one more drive, rather. We'll react to his drive, how he looked, how the offense looked, and new wrinkles put in. Then we're going to get into a debate, kind of a debate. Mike and I think the AFC West is kind of up in the air. We don't think the Kansas City Chiefs this year are as good as they've been in past years. The receiver room's not as good. Their O-line's kind of, it's good, but it's not great. Their defense lost a lot in the back end, the front end, and it sounds like Chris Jones probably won't play another snap for the Chiefs again either. According to, like, I heard too, like on a Coach JB show who I watch. If you guys follow, go watch, subscribe to Coach JB weekday shows. But he heard too from Kansas City reporters that the negotiations with Chris Jones are they're just really far apart. They're not going anywhere, and he's not going to play a snap till he's paid. I think he wants like $25 million. So, we'll talk about too where Chris Jones might go. Mike and I think maybe a possibility for Chris Jones could be Jerry World. So we'll get into that as well. But to start off, let's get the man up here himself, Mike, my father.
Hello.
Mike Schnook, welcome back to the Sunday Live.
Mike,
going on, Mike?
You always make me laugh, Mike.
What's going on, Mike? What's going on this Sunday evening for you, Mike?
Oh, I just got home from work. Excited to talk about the Brownies. I loved everything I saw from the offense and the defense. It was really exciting for both. I was even more excited I know a lot of Browns fans were worried about the offense. I was never worried about the offense. I was worried about the defense. And like the fact that they held their own and got a safety, I almost cried. Like I almost shed actual man tears. It was beautiful. It was a thing of actual beauty. It was like a painting, watching a painting. It was like that scene from Ferris Bueller's Day Off when like he's just staring at the painting and it just keeps superimposing on the painting. That was me with the Browns defense.
You were crying. You were shedding tears. I called tears. Mike. Mike was in tears. He had tissues all over the place. He was seeing Deshaun Watson throw that when he threw that first ball to Elijah Moore. I mean, it was just like the whole stadium they were just.
Oh, you heard the stadium just like explode. Like everybody was like, ah!
Yeah.
You just heard it. And that was freaking awesome too. But yeah, Watson, he agrees. He's growling over here.
It definitely was a lot of applause during the game. For that part of the game. I would say though the second straight offense and the third straight offense wasn't great, but DTR looks good. The other two, Kellen Mond,
Josh Dobbs had a rough game.
Yeah, DTR is the second quarterback. We'll just leave it at that. And just, they did make some moves today. They did cut safety Bubba Bolden, so they've already cut some guys. I thought Ronnie Hickman, who I think is going to make the roster, had a great game. 2 interceptions, was really all over the field, making great reads, cutting people off. His angles were really good, pursuit angles. But, Dad, you got to see the second half of the game, kind of the boring part, but we'll get your reaction to the Watson. I know you got to watch some of these highlights as I played on the screen. So, Mike, what did you like the most from Deshaun? We'll start there.
Well, my biggest thing with watching Deshaun is like, and I said this on the show last season when we got him, is like I would have been more worried with Deshaun if he would have looked like he lost his athleticism. Last year he didn't look comfortable, and he looked very comfortable. He looked very in charge of the offense, and his pocket presence was excellent. He was making quick decisions with the ball. There we go. That's Jordan Akins, who actually I think is going to have an excellent year this year. I think he's going to be a bigger part of the offense than what we think. I love this. Wait for this. Oh, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, this is
There's the man of the hour, Elijah Moore. He's going to be such a huge addition to this offense. Every I've been watching him in camp, watching him in the preseason, just solidified. Like, I can't believe the Jets let him go for a third-round pick, like a third-round pick swap. Yeah, here it is. Perfect pocket presence, finds the seam, steps up, gets the first down. Just like way more comfortable, not taking a sack, completely understands, has complete control of the offense, having fun. Yeah, he feels the pressure.
Yeah, he just looked a lot more settled than he did this year. Hold on one second. I clicked the wrong button. Oh, yeah, he looked a lot more just settled and just more like just mentally you can tell he's just a lot more settled, just better. Like he just looked a lot more calmer. He looked like his old self, just out there going through the reads, his scrambling, the way he was extending plays, or at least trying to. No, I think Jed Wills in the offensive line. I think that's been a big question mark. I think he had some good plays, some bad plays, but overall, though, I like what I saw from just the way he was, his flow. He just looked like he was flowing out there. He just looked settled.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree.
A lot different from the Jacksonville game a year ago, the first preseason game last year.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, and obviously the Browns were keeping it really simple. Kevin Stefanski wasn't showing like too much. He even said he wasn't going to. And you have no Amari Cooper out there, no Joel Bitonio. They got, they don't need to start. Like they're going to be Amari Cooper and Joel Bitonio, and no Nick Chubb. So you can only imagine what we're going to get with that. Yeah, this is a screenplay. I like the read, but Ethan Postage.
Stefanski loves that play. Stefanski loves calling that play.
Ethan Postage missed a block there. Here's another one. He slips.
Well, look at this here. He just escaped out of the pocket. Boom, first down. I mean, it's just like it's hard to sack him. You can't bring him down. If I'm a defensive lineman, it's like frustrating going against this guy.
Well, not only is he just an excellent scrambler, but Deshaun is a big man. Like people, like he's Josh Allen size. Like he's a big dude. Like it's hard to bring Josh Allen down.
Probably just
I think he's
more athletic. He's more. He's faster. I mean, Josh probably more athletic in some other ways, but Dad, you've seen some highlights here. I mean, here's the first throw of the game. Nice little out right there, but to the sideline. What do you think of Watson's performance?
Just looks fluid. Looks in charge. That read option was deadly, no matter which way it went. I mean, my gosh, how do you prepare for that?
Yeah, and when you have Nick Chubb in,
right,
and your starting Hall of Fame guard and your number one wide receiver who wasn't out there, and we still looked complete. And I love the fact that we're getting Elijah Moore involved in the backfield.
Elijah Moore might be the most slept-on receiver going into the season.
Yeah, pick him up in your fantasy, man. He might be. Yeah. He might have a huge year.
Do you think he's going to lead? I think he's going to lead the team in receptions.
I still think it's going to be Amari. I really do. I do think. I wouldn't be surprised the more I look at Elijah if he has 1,000 total yards.
Can Elijah be like the Deebo Samuel type role where it's a lot of like getting the ball in his hand, let him go?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to give him nearly as many carries as Deebo. And like
no, not carry, but you're like just
they're going to find ways to get the ball in his hands. And I forget who, but somebody on Twitter brought up a really good point, and it was most of and this is a mixture of a failing on the Jets offense with Zach Wilson as their quarterback, but it's an interesting kind of wrinkle is that almost all of Elijah Moore's yards came from yak plays. He's a very good yards after catch kind of guy. So like maybe some designed wide receiver screens, maybe we'll see a lot of that. Maybe we'll see like a lot of those end arounds. A play they ran a lot in training camp, which I really liked, is him actually in power eye with Deshaun, so a pistol set, and then he runs like a curl out. So it's almost like that's a check down, but it's to Elijah Moore on like the sideline, but it leaves him open with some open grass, because since he's coming out of the backfield, like a linebacker or the strong safety has to break down on him. And if you could get the ball to him quick enough, there's not a linebacker that can catch Elijah Moore. So They were running some really interesting things with him in training camp. I'm really excited to see what they do in regular season with him, because he's a very versatile, very dynamic player. And, I'm still so amazed. Watson is my keeper.
Shout out to Adam. Shout out to you, Nap. He said, Watson is my keeper. Jerome better get a good trophy. Well, yeah, shout out to you. It's nice
Good dude
you.
there.
Yeah,
Adam, call me. We got to do breakfast. It's been a while.
Yeah. And go Bucks. Huge Buckeye fan.
Absolutely. Great dude.
Yeah, great.
Better. But yeah, besides that, what did you think about the defense, Joseph?
Really improved. I mean, the guy that stood out to me, I'll put the big highlights up here. Oh, he said, hold on 1 sec. Did it come up on the screen?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he said for sure. All right. I had some other alert pop. But anyways, no, I think the guy that stood out to me the most was JOK. Putting on, I don't know, how many pounds do you think he put on, Mike? Probably he looks like he's about 10, 15 pounds heavier.
I don't know if they actually, I would say around that. I don't know if they actually said it, but Stefanski made it very clear, and so did Schwartz after he was hired, that he needed to put on weight. And
he looks like a legit linebacker now. There's no question what he plays. But he looks so good in that scheme, just flying around on the ball the way he was missing blocks, shooting under blocks. Because he still has the speed. Now you add the size to it. The defense to me looks very well improved. I mean, so much better with Schwartz. Their guys look like they're allowed to just play freely. They're allowed to attack. I like when the linemen can just line up, just play downhill, especially your 3 techs can just line up and just go. I think that's more effective. I think it's more effective for Miles as well and Zadarius Smith. But I think too, I like the I thought Juan Thornhill made some nice plays coming down, making some tackles on the run. I think Grant Delpit, we'll see what he keeps looking like. I think Ronnie Hickman, looks really good for a rookie. Just the plays he was making, his instincts, had a great game. But I think the defense overall just looks, that defensive line is just, it went from being just complete trash to might be the best in the league now, or one top 3. Yeah. I mean, look at the depth. We just added Sheldon Day. By the way, when Mike and I got off our podcast the other day, right when we got off, it was announced Sheldon Day signed. So actually, we'll get that. Yeah, I'm thinking of the guy from last year.
No, it's all right. I wish Sheldon Davis.
I forgot. Shelby Harris. Excuse me. I'm thinking the other guy. Shelby Harris. I guess, Mike, I want to ask you though, real quick, before we get into the defense. What was your initial reaction to that? Because it just happened before we got off.
We talked a little bit about it when he came in for a visit, because we knew he was visiting with the Browns. But Shelby Harris is an incredibly productive player. Even this, far into his career, he just turned 32. Mm-hmm. But the Browns, and this is very interesting, with the signing of Shelby Harris, we are now the only team in the NFL with each defensive lineman on our team to be in the top 20 of PFF rankings. Top 20. Mm-hmm. Shelby Harris had 44 tackles last year. He had, I think it was 12 tackles for loss. Really great run stuff. He used to be a big sack guy. Obviously, he's kind of lost a little bit of that. He still gets great pressures, but not a huge sack guy, but that might change. But now, Myles Garrett, Zadarius Smith, Dalvin Tomlinson, and Shelby Harris. That's starting 4, and more than likely, we're Schwartz said, we're going to have 5 guys out there more often than not. I think it's exactly what the Browns needed, because I didn't like Jordan Elliott. I don't like Jordan Elliott, and I know he's a Buckeye, but Tommy Togiai is just not an NFL starter. He's not an NFL caliber.
For Togiai is somewhat defense. He's made some nice plays this preseason, kind of like he did in college.
Against third team, yeah, but
we'll take it. We'll take it. Anything's better than last year. We'll take it. So, I agree with you.
Last ranked defensive tackle in all the NFL. He was ranked 200.
Yeah, I don't know, but
come on. Yeah, I know you're a Buckeye, but you can't defend that. You can't get much better than that.
No, I'm not defending last year at all. I'm not defending anybody. I'm just saying at least we saw some plays.
Right.
We'll take it.
Right.
But no, I think that defensive line.
I would say with any of these guys, when you bring a guy like Schwartz in, I'm not. You can take a guy like Togiai, and this year could be totally different, being properly coached. You know what I mean? So it's almost like it's like
no, I agree with
you
that.
got to treat it like a clean slate.
I agree, but he's gonna get cut.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, but I'm just saying, you got a coach like that. I mean, they make a tremendous impact and change a guy's career.
He's been more productive than Jordan Elliott.
I mean, that's not that hard. You could be born.
At least he's got some tackles on.
Mike, be optimistic.
Yeah, Mike, what the hell's wrong? But here's the JOK play right here. If you guys haven't seen it, you see JOK there. Go ahead, Mike. You want to give some commentary on this?
Oh, yeah. No, rewind it real quick.
Hold on, we're going to show the sky. Here we go, right here.
All right, beautiful. So screen cuts the block, absolute tackling machine. But notice what's happening here, right? The defensive line is absolutely getting that push. Look at that push. Look at that push. Look at that.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
Yeah, he looks good.
That dude.
All right, pause that right there. Beautiful.
57 had a pretty good game too. That's that guy I was telling you about, Mike.
That's Isaiah McGuire.
Well, who's 50? No, who's the Wiley kid too? 53. He had some good pressures too. But yeah,
yeah. No, 57 is Isaiah McGuire. He's our rookie out of Mizzou. I really like him a lot.
We got out there with him.
So you see Dalvin Tomlinson. They're only rushing 3 here. They had one of them drop back into coverage because this is 3rd down. But what are you noticing? They're rushing only 3 guys against the first team offensive line for Washington, which isn't it's not a great O-line, but it's not bad. Not bad. They got good guard. Am I missing a guy out there? Am I counting around?
Guy right in front of Tom. You just can't see.
I see him. I see him. So I can't tell who that is, but look at that. Okay, there's.
Who is
that? Siaki?
No.
Yeah, that's Siaki Ika. That's Siaki Ika. So rewind it one more time. Oh yeah, that's Siaki. Look at that push though. So this is why JOK, AWOC, Talk, Jordan Kunizik, name them, any linebacker on this team is going to benefit exponentially because we now have a defensive line that isn't going to be pushed 5 yards every play, every rundown, anything. So it gives these linebackers opportunity to actually, run sideline to sideline, make plays, and more importantly, do their job. Dalvin Tomlinson getting pressures all night. Siaki Ika, I know there were fans out there who didn't like the pick. I liked the pick. I liked him coming out of Baylor. And you know what? In this preseason, he has played every defensive down. I don't think I've seen him out. And he has been doing amazing. Maurice Hurst had a sack. Looked really, really good. I think he's going to be a great rotational piece as well. I'm so excited about our defensive tackle room, and I never thought I would get to say it. Like I was watching the defense, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's what an NFL defense is supposed to look like. It's happening."
I like the part 2 where they messed up in this second quarter. They gave up that touchdown. They'll show it here in a little bit. You'll see his reaction. Jim Short's going off on him on the sideline, just actually coaching them. So, Dad, what do you expect from the defense this year under Shorts with all the talent we have? And you've seen the first team highlights there.
A lot of sacks. I mean, you just see it just in preseason, just the coming downhill. Just a lot of sacks, just a lot of aggression. That's the only way to play defense. I mean, you can't. I'm a believer, and you always got to let your horses run. You just can't. You can't pull the reins back. You got to let them go. You know what I mean? That's what defense is. Defensive players are more aggressive players. They like to hit. They like to tackle. You got to let them go. You know what I mean? And it's just up to the coaches to put the right scheme in place and coach them up. But yeah, you saw that last year. They just always, never going downhill. Just always seemed. I mean. Just play like a bunch of sissies, actually. You know what I mean? There was no edge. There was no attitude. Defensive players got to have attitude.
Defense has to have its own culture.
It does. It
And I
always
think
has.
Joe Woods didn't he didn't value defensive tackle, which is an incredibly important position. And like the fact that our defensive line, I mean, it didn't show it in the highlights, but the first play of because we deferred, so the first offensive play that they had, the Commanders did, they tried to run Brian Robinson, and Agba Okonkwo, going to be the third defensive end in the rotation, absolutely blows up the play and gets it, like tackles him behind the line of scrimmage, like absolutely just sheds a block like quick as hell. And I think it's going to be like super exciting to watch that because our defense looks pretty stout.
Well, you can certainly see a difference in the way they're playing.
Right.
From last year. Where'd our host go?
I don't know. Where's the host? We lost him. He's in the ether.
You got a better game this year?
Keep going. I had to reboot. All right. He just texted me. Yeah, no, I'm going to go to a game this year. I want to – I haven't decided which one, though. I want to try and go to one maybe in October, if not in November. I know I want to try and go to the Thursday night game against the Jets.
I'm going to that one.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. I was going to go to the home opener if it wasn't like against a division rival, because since it's going to be nuts down there. So I'm not doing that. I might go to the home Steelers game this year. I'm thinking about that. That might be fun. Or Browns Ravens games are always fun to go to. But might go to that. I don't know. I want to at least go to two for sure, because I went to one last year and I want to go to two this year.
That's what I normally do. I used to go to about last couple of years. I went to two each year. So
yeah, that's where I'm at. I go to two.
This year I'll be at the Titans game. I'll be at that Jets game. I'll probably go more than. Yeah, I already have tickets for that one. I'll probably go to more than two this year.
I might, I might do that. I might, three would be the most, because there's part of me. Is that Jags game a home game?
I can't remember.
Because if we play the Jags at home, I want to go to that. That'll be a fun game.
And then next year I'll have season tickets.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, through a buddy of mine, a buddy of mine from work. It's a customer and a buddy, but it's already he holds 4 seats.
Yeah, I'm back.
And so it's already like in place. There's only next year we'll have his ticket guy's already got it set up. So I had to wait a season, but I'll be able to have season tickets after this year.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I'm back. I had to reboot my computer, but anyways, I'm back. But no, where did you guys leave off? We were talking about the defense.
I we did. One thing I wanted to add to that point before we dropped it is keep in mind that defense didn't let Washington's first team do anything, and that's without Anthony Walker. That's without Greg Newsome. That's without Denzel Ward. That's without Myles Garrett. That's without Sione Takitaki. That's without Shelby Harris. That's without all of these talented players that did not play that day. Zadarius Smith looked unblockable. Our interior line was kept getting pressure and pressure and pressure, and it feels so good. It feels so good.
Mike, I want to ask you real quick, and both you guys, before we move on from the Browns, the receiver room. I'm really curious what this room's going to look like. So we obviously the obvious, Amari Cooper, that's 1. Elijah Moore, that's 2. Cedric Tillman, that's 3. DPJ, that's 4. I'm going to say David Bell because he was a draft pick. That's 5. And he actually had a good game the other night. That's 5.
Yeah, David Bell.
I think they're going to go in with 7. So who are the other 2, in your opinion?
Well, Jakeem Grant's going to get a roster spot because he looks back in practice.
He's an automatic.
Yeah.
So 7. So who's that last spot? I might go with Austin Watkins.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I've been hearing rumblings that Marquise Goodwin actually might be back sooner than you think. And if that's the case, then because if he can be back by week 2, then they're gonna just have him as one of the wide receivers on the roster, and they're not going to put him on IR. That's the last thing you want to do. And have him miss the games that he'd have to miss them. And it looks like because he's been working out in practice, he's been like part of like the past couple of them. So it sounds like he's bouncing back relatively quickly. So I'd keep an eye on that, on the Marquise Goodwin situation, because it looks like he might not actually be out for a substantial amount of time.
All right, so Goodwin. But if Goodwin's not able to make it, do you think Watkins has a good chance, though? I think Watkins. He's played pretty well.
Yeah,
I'll
Watkins
ask you this, Dad. Who do you think will be starting by the end of the year? It's going to be Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore. Do you think can Cedric Tillman take Don Peoples-Jones' spot by the end of the year?
Yes.
Do you think he will?
I believe so. I mean, the guy's just like an absolute freak. So, no, I mean, but not that Don Peoples-Jones is no slouch. I mean, I like the guy.
No.
But Tillman is, from what I've seen so far, I mean, this dude, he looks like the real deal. Big, fast.
Yeah, he had one drop the other night. He should have body caught it, but instead he tried to. But he only made one bad play. Other than that, though, yeah, he looks pretty crisp. Mike, you got a comment? I'll let you just respond to it.
That's embedded.
I did watch it, and actually, like, he was moving the ball against, the third team Chargers. But
right, Corey, you got to come up here and defend this. You got to come up here and he needs to come here and defend this guy.
Along with Big Jake Fromm, too.
Yeah, Big Jake Fromm. Corey, I know you're tired from golfing today, Corey. Corey was golfing with my guy Kyle Corey and Nick Corey today. Shout out to both you guys. Corey ended up golfing with both my guys. But Corey, you need to come up here. You can come off camera, buddy. You need to give us an update on the Falcons. We need to hear from you.
I don't know anything about the Falcons. Bijan Robinson.
You need to come tell us about. Yeah, come give us the Stetson Bennett report. I mean, we need to hear you.
Corey's one of those keyboard warriors that anybody in the car business can't stand. He's a keyboard warrior.
Keyboard warrior.
Aren't you, Corey? Aren't you a little critter?
Come on, critter. Come on, Corey. We need your report. But yeah, so you watched Stetson Bennett, Mike?
I did.
Right. I didn't see it.
I watched all the preseason games. Actually, the most impressive, besides like
here we go. Pull up the highlight.
We're not pulling up LA Rams tape. What are you talking about?
I'm not pulling that up. Right,
no.
You need to come up here and you need to come tell us why he's going to be a starting quarterback, Corey.
Pull up the LA Rams tape.
You're on the spot now, Corey. We need to
God.
You got to come tell us why he's going to be a starting quarterback. We're not just going to believe you.
Right. Why, Corey?
Matt Stafford getting paid. You going to keep that money.
Whose job is Stetson Bennett taking?
He's taking Matt Stafford's job?
No.
Well, I mean, even if it's not down there, he's never going to start. That's what I'm saying. It's like, who in the hell in the league right now? Even if he got traded around, who would he take?
No.
Nobody. He couldn't even beat out Baker Mayfield.
No.
I don't think he could either.
Well, I mean,
Baker looked decent the other night.
I mean, yeah, he kind of has. They weren't playing the starting.
Great, but I'm just saying, I still think Baker could beat Stetson Bennett.
You could have put Corey on that Georgia team as the quarterback, and with all that, everything. I don't care who you put at quarterback. There's, you know what I mean? Right. They make everybody look good.
Right. But yeah, I'm not worried about Stetson Bennett, but he's on the Rams. I think the Rams could win like 3 games this year.
Dang, that
but
low.
I'm not high on them at all. Dude.
I'm not high on them either, but I was like, damn, 3 games.
I don't know. Like, as soon as Andrew Whitworth retired, for whatever reason, he must have been the glue that held that entire team together because that team looked like shit last year.
Andrew Whitworth.
Well, they went in too. They went all in on that year too. I mean, how many?
It paid off. They got a Super Bowl.
I'm saying that's your future is kind of shot for a couple of years. So
yeah, and I don't think they care.
No. But
I mean,
I
publicly said that if the Browns won the Super Bowl last year, we could go winless for 5 years, and I'd be content. But I just is it? Yeah, I don't know if that's that hot a take. I would give one of my kidneys for the Browns to win a Super Bowl. Like, sure, take them. But that's just me.
Right. But we'll stay in LA though, Mike, because we got a hot take. We got a hot question for you guys. Mike and I were talking. You know, when Mike's working, we're on the phone sometimes. We start bullshitting about some stuff. We were talking about. Mike said you watched the Chiefs preseason game, right, Mike?
Yes, I did. Chiefs Saints, and the Saints look good, by the way.
And how did the Chiefs look to you? Because to me, on paper, I kind of agree with you. So we're both thinking the same thing.
So I know that he only played a quarter or 2 series, but Patrick Mahomes could not move the ball against the Saints starting defensive front. And it got me thinking, and you're in agreement on this. Got me thinking because Patrick Mahomes looks like he struggled.
Hold on, Mike. Now he's talking crazy. Yeah, Lamar Jackson in the air raid offense. Todd Monken's air raid offense with Odell.
Oh yeah, Todd Monken, because that's always worked really well in professional sports. I'm not worried about the raid.
Lamar in the air raid is going to do real well.
How many incompletions will he have this year? It'll be a record.
How many interceptions will they have? How many picks? How many not running the full routes?
As much as I will admit, with the Ravens comment, but since he sidetracked me, I liked him coming out of the draft. I really like Zay Flowers. I think he can end up being their number 1 receiver long term. But outside of Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews, what is it? What do you got? You got some people made out of glass. You got, Odell Beckham Jr., who you don't even know what you're getting with them anymore.
Here's the Ravens, this is the Ravens.
Yeah. All right. They're not, and their running game, which is generally good. J.K. Dobbins, always hurt. Justice Hill is always hurt. Like Gus Edwards, always hurt. Hi, Aunt Sis.
Oh, it's my dad's aunt. She's in the chat.
Hello. How are you?
But
welcome.
Yeah. Back to my original point before Corey said something stupid.
We got everybody watching tonight. This is cool.
Yeah. It's dope.
No, I agree. But to finish off the Ravens, listen, I like Lamar Jackson. I think what they should have did was they should have kept the same. Yeah, I love him. He's a great kid. They should have kept the same. Yeah, he's a great kid. But they should have kept the same offense and just expanded it a little more in the passing game. I don't like this air raid offense to be running with. That's not a skill set. It's going to be. It could be a disaster.
Right.
I mean, what do you think, Dad? Do you think Lamar in the air raid is just going to win the division?
You know my opinion on that. What I've always said: the cat can't throw the ball. He can't throw the ball.
And you like,
I like
Lamar
him.
Jackson.
I like Lamar Jackson. He is a tremendous football player. I love what he stands for. I'm not shy about that. But sadly, he can't throw the ball accurately. So the fact that they put him in an air raid offense is
he can't make all the throws.
It's going to be pick after pick.
Can't make all the throws. That's something I can.
I mean, incompletions. The guy just can't do it.
No,
I wish he could. I wish
all the throws.
I love the guy. I wish he could, but he just can't.
No, he can't make all the throws, which is fine. There's a lot of quarterbacks can't make every throw.
It's
not his game. He's more of a short passing guy. Like a lot of when he won the MVP that you threw 4,000 yards. Go back and watch the tape. A lot of those plays were just, simple 5-10 yard routes. They were
Well,
just
yeah, that's what they do.
run. Yeah, but he's not. He can't throw a lot of the tougher throws across the field.
No,
That's
he
not
can't throw in
happening.
the middle of the field. He can't throw downfield. Those 15+ yard. He can't thread the ball. He can't throw receiver open.
No, and sometimes he doesn't make the right reads. Oh, here's Corey, but Lamar keeps beating the Browns. What is our record?
The keyboard warrior is at it again.
Right. We split with them every year. He's been in the league.
But he's talking about a game 3 years ago. We beat him
What happened
last
on
year.
the Monday night game when we played the Steelers? This Monday night game? This season? You don't even know our schedule.
Corey's the keyboard warrior.
Stop talking. Worry about winning the
warrior.
worst division in football.
No.
Worry about winning the division in football.
He won't.
Corey.
He won't come up here. Corey will not come up here.
No.
Your team has to deal with Bryce Young. Your team's gonna be losing. You just swept by Bryce Young, and you're talking about the Browns. You got to worry about winning the worst division in football, which is hard for the Falcons.
Listen,
I forget the Falcons are one of those teams in the NFL that I always forget exists. Like
Xavier Howard didn't know who their quarterback was.
Oh yeah, how'd you like that?
Didn't know who the quarterback was.
Desmond Ritter. Who? Desmond Ritter, number 9.
Like,
oh,
the guy you played against today. He's like, who? Oh, he didn't know.
Oh,
he
the
legit
quarterback?
didn't know Desmond. And this is an all-pro Xavier Howard. He didn't know who Desmond Ritter was.
That was funny.
That's your future. That's your franchise, Corey. That's your franchise.
Look at Corey getting us derailed, making me talk about Atlanta. I don't even want to talk about Atlanta. Atlanta's not interesting.
Well, Corey's like a fan.
Those beat reporters are down there drinking shots of freaking bullet bourbon every time. They're like, God damn, I got to write a goddamn article about the Falcons today. I got to think of something to talk about for the Falcons. I don't pity their beat reporters, Corey. But anyway, what I was saying about the damn Chiefs.
Yeah, here, we'll get back. So the question that we'll get to is, can the Chargers win the AFC West? Now, Mike, you watched the Chiefs, so give us the update what you saw from the Chiefs game.
All right. So the point I was making, I'll summarize. The Chiefs are missing a lot of pieces. Now, I'm not ruling them out entirely because Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion, is still the best quarterback playing football right now. Now, that being said, their defense, I mean, think about everything they've lost. They've lost Juan Thornhill. He's on the Browns. No more Frank Clark. Chris Jones isn't going to play for him. I don't like their DB room. Honey Badger ain't there no more. Outside of Nick Bolton, and
I like Nick Bolton.
I like Nick Bolton, and I do like their first-round draft pick this year, Felix Nduke Uzama,
out of Kansas State.
But he's like a project, right? Like, you don't know if he's going to be an immediate contributor, right? And speaking of rookies, I'd say their best receiver is Rashee Rice, and then you got Kadarius Toney. I mean, you still have Travis Kelce, but I don't know.
I think Kadarius Toney. I think Kadarius Toney could still pan out in this offense. I like Kadarius Toney. I like his skills. I think he could still be
I like him too.
Really good receiver in this league. But go ahead.
Yeah, but I got to thinking, and then we got to talking. That division just keeps getting tougher and tougher. And all these teams, it's the Tom Brady effect, right? It's the same thing with Pat Mahomes. It's like an arms race. Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs happens, and everybody leaves the Chiefs, and you have all these teams in the AFC just getting better. And you have a team like the Chiefs that is doing nothing but they're reloading through the draft, but it's going to take a year or two for some of those guys to pan out. The Chargers, their weakest link is their head coach. I don't like the only thing.
I agree, but here's my thing with the Chargers. We were talking earlier, right? And at some point, they're gonna be a little better. And I think that what you watched those games last year too. The games came down to the wire. It's not Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's arguably a top 5 quarterback in the league.
I agree.
So they have They have the quarterback to go head to head with Mahomes. They have a better running back. They have a better O-line. They have a better receiving core. They have a better defense overall. To me, I think that I think the Chiefs, at some point, you slip a little bit. I mean, Mahomes is so great. I get it. Kelsey's so great. Andy Reid's so great. But at some point, you kind of take, not saying a big step, but it's kind of a dip a little, just for a year or two. So it always happens sometimes. And I think the Chargers, this is the year where I think they can win the division and make some noise.
I agree. And I think
and Brandon Staley has to have a great year this year or he's gone.
Or he's fired. I would have fired him last year if I was that ownership, but for whatever reason,
I don't think they could. I think they would have tried to go after Sean Payton, but I don't know if he wanted to.
Oh, and while we're on the subject of the AFC West, let's talk about Sean Payton. Because here's a hot take for me. I think Sean Payton's a little overrated. And we were talking about Colin Cowherd on the last show, and here we don't like Colin Cowherd. That's true. But he did bring this up. He did say something that I kind of agree with. Sean Payton's record in the playoffs, in the Super Bowls, etc., division titles, is almost the same as Mike McCarthy. Like, it's nearly identical. And Mike McCarthy just gets dogged on constantly, but they both have one Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
They both have the same amount of division titles and playoff wins.
What did you think of him calling out Nathaniel Hackett the way he did, like that?
I thought that was stupid.
I thought that was kind of dumb. I didn't get that. To sit there and say, man, because I don't know if you know Nathaniel Hackett, he's the OC with the Jets now, Rodgers guy. Yeah. He was the coach last year with the Broncos, and they fired him. He didn't do a good job at all. But he comes out and makes a comment along the lines. We're kind of paraphrasing. A lot of people.
He said it was the worst coaching job I've ever seen.
Yeah, he said the ex-coach is the worst coaching job he's ever seen. And those two teams play each other this year too, so that game's already got some juice going into it. But and then Aaron Rodgers came out and said, like, he needs to keep my coach's name out of his mouth and all that.
Will Smith. Keep my coach's name
out of your mouth and all this. I don't like that. I don't know why he meant. What was the purpose of saying that? Even if it's true, because Nathaniel Hackett didn't do a great job, but I don't think you shouldn't have came out and said that. And I think too. I was listening to Matt McChesney, who's a former NFL player, 6-0 Academy. He goes on JB's show. Love Matt, but he works for Altitude Sports too, which is a radio like our fan. The fan here in Cleveland. Altitude's like the fan in Denver. And he's been out at training camp and stuff. And a lot of people in Denver, they don't think Sean Payton really likes Russell Wilson. Like, that's not his guy long term. And that he kind of secretly wouldn't mind if they had a losing record this year so they can draft Caleb Williams or Drake May. So
that'd be scary.
I don't think Denver's much of a threat. They're just too inconsistent. If they're really good, they'll be really good. But from what I'm hearing from him from camp, he's been watching the camps and stuff. I don't think Russell Wilson tries to go throw the long ball too much, the home run ball, and it just hurts him every time. But
Russ, I think Russ is cooked. Don't let Russ cook. Russ is cooked. Overdone steak.
And I don't think Sean Payton really wants him there.
Right, and I think the run game is overrated. Javonte Williams had so much potential. But I think their run game is super overrated, and I watched that preseason game too. I watched them all, and if there's one thing, they were playing the Cardinals' front starting defensive line, which isn't fantastic. It's not like the worst defensive line in football, but it's not like anything to write home about. And that offensive line struggled against the Cardinals. Struggled.
I agree.
Russ got sacked twice. He was constantly under pressure. And Russ used to be a great scrambler, but he's not that anymore.
Yeah, their O-line had some problems still. The left tackle had some bad plays.
It's completely
on McChesney's Instagram. He was showing the highlights of it, like breaking down the mishaps and stuff. There was some good plays, but Dad, I want to ask you though. Number one, what do you think of Sean Payton's comments? I'm curious what you think of that as you're a leader of men and what you do. What do you think of what Sean Payton said about Nathaniel Hackett? I'm curious about that.
What did the repeat what he said? Because I didn't catch what he said. I mean,
He said along the lines that it was Nathaniel Hackett had. What did he say, Mike? It was the worst coaching job in history.
Coaching job he's ever
worst coaching job he's ever seen.
About the previous
disaster. Yeah, and the previous coach is now the OC for the Jets, and they play each other this year. And then Rodgers came out and defended his guy Hackett because him and Hackett were together in Green Bay.
Yeah,
and said, "Keep my coach's name out your mouth. It was uncalled for. He's respected. Why would he say that?"
You shouldn't. I don't think you should ever go out and publicly dog out another coach, even if they're an assistant coach. Yeah. If Sean Payton's the guy that he's made out to be, he should know better than that shit. You wouldn't.
Hold on. Look who decided to show
up. The keyboard warrior.
Look who decided to show up.
Hey, buddy. Good to see you.
But no, you don't.
Thanks for coming on, Corey. Appreciate it, buddy.
I know you've seen those highlights, baby.
I did not see the Stetson Bennett highlights. I'm not interested in that.
Are you done talking about a team that has nothing to do with your team? Are you done talking about the Rams?
I remember you talking a lot of stuff about.
Yeah, I was. Okay, let him start a real NFL game when he isn't playing against somebody I'm going to run into at a dive bar. And then, and then we'll talk about Stetson Bennett. Here.
Corey, it's preseason, dude.
I love preseason. All the overreactions. I love it.
Hey, you're doing the same thing with the Browns.
Are you really? Hey, would you want Stetson Bennett on the Falcons?
He looked good.
You didn't answer my question.
I would, yeah.
Desmond Ridder. I mean, granted, he can't be much worse than Desmond Ridder.
Yeah. I'm sending you for a drug test tomorrow.
No, but Corey, have you been in all seriousness, have you been keeping up with Falcons camp? How's your team looking? I haven't really been plugged in.
Yesterday, I think we got 5 sacks. I mean, not bad. I mean, it was like 19-3, but we're playing against the Dolphins that didn't have their starters.
Your team is trash.
Trash.
We're gonna win the division.
Here's the weird thing about the Falcons, right?
Like, you said you're gonna win the division.
They had a couple of really weird drafts.
They had a couple of winning the division.
The Saints are winning.
Okay, then we'll go to this division. We'll come back to the AFC West, Mike.
Alvin Kamara's out for a couple, I think, like 4 or 5 games.
That doesn't
he's suspended.
matter.
Yeah, he's suspended for 3 games.
Looks fantastic against the. I think that's the same. To lose. That's their division to lose. Like, straight up. Like, I don't think the Panthers... Like, I like the Panthers' defense. I think they have probably the best budding defense in the NFL. Like, they have a bunch of really great young guys. Freaking love Brian Burns. I think he's going to be, like, down the road, he could be one of the best defensive ends in the league. J.C. Horn, love him. I think the Panthers, if Bryce Young pans out in the next couple of years, could be a serious contender in the NFC. But, like, right now, like, the Bucs are in shambles. The Falcons are still rebuilding. And the Saints are just complete. Like, Derek Carr.
The Falcons are in a much better position than the Buccaneers. So they won't be last.
Yeah, you got that going for you. I mean, you still have, like, good players. Like, Mike Evans isn't going to be at the Bucs for long. Like, the Buccaneers just, they're in the afterglow of the Super Bowl and they're just trying to, like, figure shit out. The Falcons at least have some
rebuild.
Huh?
Every team goes through a rebuild, Mike.
No,
I know.
I mean, they've had some good draft picks, though. I like the defensive picks.
Yeah, the Falcons have been rebuilding for a while.
I like the Bijan Robinson pick personally. I think he's a home run hitter. But so who do you think's going to win? We'll do this, Mike. Here's what we'll do. We'll go down. Everybody will give a team who's going to win each division. We'll start in the NFC. So we'll start in the South. We'll start with you, Corey, when you're done drinking your water. Who's going to win the NFC South, your Falcons division?
I'm not being biased, but I think we're going to win the division. I think it goes us and the Saints, Panthers, Bucs.
All right. Who do you got, Dad? You got the Saints, you got the Panthers, you got the Bucs, you got the Falcons.
Probably the Saints.
All right, Mike.
I think I'll be honest with you, Corey. I do really think that the Falcons probably have the second best odds, and the NFC's wide open. There is a chance you can win the division, but I'm going to give it to the Saints. I just, Derek Carr is probably the best quarterback in that division now. I like their offensive weapons. The one thing that they're going to be missing, like you said, is the run game. But, with Alvin Kamara being out, they still signed Jamal Williams, who broke Barry Sanders' touchdown record last year, and he's still a very, very competent back. And their defense is still really, really good. So I don't really see anybody really competing with the Saints in that division. Unless, the Falcons have a chance. But
I'm going to go with the Saints, too, only because I think they're just – Al Kamara's only going to be out 3 games, and Al Kamara was a bad dude. So I think they're good on defense, too. But I think they got Chris Olave, who was runner-up for Mike Thomas. I mean, they're just loaded. I mean, the offense should be pretty good.
I like A.T. Perry a lot, too. They drafted
I'm going to say this, though. The Saints are definitely the safe pick. But I wouldn't be surprised if a team like the Falcons or the Panthers
it's wide open.
Yeah.
And I would say they have the best odds. And the good thing about the way the Falcons could win that division is if you do not want to rely on Desmond Ridder to win.
But they have the tools. Their defense, they have some nice pieces on defense. If the defense can perform better this year, I think Bijan Robinson's going to be really
and
good.
They still have Tyler Algiers, who had a great season last year. So
if they can do, I mean, they have the ingredients to run the run game.
Cordell
action. You got Kyle Pitts. You got Drake London. You got
Cordell.
I like
Cordell Pat. Who's the guy from who went viral from the Raiders? He got really big. He's huge. They brought over. What's his name? Dude's massive. He put on
from the Raiders.
Yeah, he was on the. I think it was Mike Williams or something like that.
Yeah, I know.
I can't remember.
Is he a defensive tackle?
No, he's a wide receiver. They brought him. He was on the Raiders last year. But dude looks massive.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
He got the long hair like Troy Polamalu.
Yeah. Oh, what is his name? He played really well for the Raiders too.
It's on the fucking tongue.
It's gonna bother me.
But there's three. They're about 3 deep at receiver, so they have all the ingredients to help Ridder out. So they could do it.
Yeah, it's one of those things that
it's enough. You don't know what to expect from that division, to be honest.
No,
right?
But if I think if they have great defense,
you could have a losing. Everybody in the division could have a losing record and still fucking be in it. Towards the last couple of weeks. That's how that margin there of that division. You don't know what you're gonna get. So.
Right.
All right. Well, we're gonna move on. Oh, go ahead, Mike. Finish up and move on.
I was just gonna say, no, I agree. If the way I look at the Falcons, what they could be is like a 2020 Browns situation. Just don't rely, we didn't rely on Baker Mayfield. It was like the 1-2 punch. If you can get that out of Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algiers, I think you have a good shot.
Imagine if they would have signed Brissett.
Oh, they would have had a really good running.
I think if they would have signed a guy like Brissett, they might be in a way better position. Because you just don't know what Ridder is yet. You don't know. So
it's too. Yeah, he hasn't
too
played.
Early. Yeah, he hasn't played. So we'll move on to the North now. You got the Bears, you got the Lions, you got the Packers, and you got the Vikings. Dad, I'll start with you. Who do you like here, Dad?
I'm going to the Lions.
All right. Shout out to Gers. We're going to the Lions.
Going to the Lions.
Mike?
This is hard. I watched all the preseason games, and I'm not going to lie to you.
The Bears are
the Packers
good.
Didn't look half bad. Neither did the Bears.
I think the Packers are the worst team. I think the Bears will be much improved. I think Justin Fields is going to bounce back.
I don't know, man. That division, that's a hard one because they all have an argument to win that division. But I still think if the Lions defense would have been just a little bit better last year, they would have won that division, with Aaron Rodgers in the division. So I'll give it to the Lions, but I will say that's as far as conferences or divisions go, that one is the hardest in the NFC for me. It could go any way.
All right.
But
Corey, who do you got, Corey?
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough. I think it's going to come down to the Lions or the Bears.
I agree.
I think the Bears look really good in that first preseason game. Fields, I'd probably give the Lions maybe, just because of last year how they ended.
Yeah,
they got that sour taste in their mouth, and I feel like Dan Campbell's he's a good coach. So
he's biting kneecaps. I'm gonna go with the Lions. He's biting kneecaps. I'm gonna go with the Lions too, because I think I think he's the best coach in the division. So,
yeah, I think the Lions.
And I like their team. They have a really good team, but I think the Bears are coming. The Bears did a really nice job. They finally got a running back for Bijan's teammate, who I think is gonna be pretty good for Justin. I think they needed a run game last year, take the pressure off them. But yeah, I agree. I'll go with the Lions. So a clean sweep there for the Lions. We'll go to the East now. This is kind of always been a competitive division. We got the defending champs, the Eagles. We got the Cowboys. We got the Redskins, or it's not the Commanders, and the Giants. So, Dad, we'll start with you. Who do you got here?
Here, after the way the Eagles drafted, I mean, all the players that, I mean, how could you go against the Eagles?
Jordan Davis,
it ain't gonna be the Cowboys after what's his name? Trayvon Diggs. What he said to his own quarterback in practice. Did you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mike, why don't you repeat what he said, Mike?
Oh, he just called Dak a bitch after he threw a pick.
Yes, Dak threw a pick, and he ran right up to him, and he was like, he called him a bitch right in his face. His own quarterback, the guy they pay the money to. And no offensive lineman ran over and defended him, nothing. So that just kind of tells you what the Cowboys or the state of the Cowboys is. But so Mike, you got the who'd you pick, Mike? Or no, Dad, you picked the Eagles. Corey, who do you got?
Eagles.
Yep. Mike?
I'll say the Eagles, but I wouldn't be surprised if they regress a little bit because they lost their offensive and defensive coordinator. So let's not forget that. I still think they're going to be good, but I wouldn't be surprised if they don't win the NFC this year because Jonathan Gannon and Shane Steichen are both gone. So, and they did a lot. So, just saying.
I'm going to go with the Eagles, but I think the team that might finish second is actually the Giants. I like the Giants. I think there's a sneaky team. I don't know. I think they're a sneaky team. I think there's always a sneaky team. And I think they have a good defense. They have a lot of good young I just don't like the Cowboys now. I'm out on the Cowboys. They're off. And here, I think the Giants got little. They got a lot better. They got some
regular season darlings.
They got Saquon. They got better offensive weapons. I don't know. The Giants, I think, could finish second in that division. I'm out on the Cowboys now. And I don't like what I'm hearing from Washington either. I don't like the Washington situation either.
We're dogging on Dak, but like the Giants paid Daniel Jones. So
I'm just saying though, but they're not calling their quarterback a bitch, and they're not throwing the OC under the bus either in the media.
I'm calling Daniel Jones a bitch. I'll call Daniel Jones a bitch.
But they're not throwing their OC under the bus either. And I like their coach. I like Brian Dable.
Oh no, Brian Dable's great. Yeah, other than paying Daniel Jones, the Giants are okay. I don't like their receiver room. I like Darren Waller. I love that trade. That was a smart trade.
The receiver room got better. They got better receiver room. Yeah. They got a little better. And they got Saquon. But we'll go to the West now. There's an argument.
Niners. Easy. Niners.
All right, well, hold on a minute. We got the 49ers. We got the Seahawks. I don't think it's easy. We got the 49ers. We got the Seahawks. And we got Corey's beloved Rams and the Cardinals. Did you guys see the picture of Kyler Murray yesterday?
Oh, my gosh. Somebody show me that at work.
The $230 million man.
In a sports bra.
Dude, he stole that from my closet. I can't believe he was saying that.
Wild.
5'8" with a sports bra on.
Yeah. I didn't look at shit, but Corey, we'll start with you. Who do you got in the West?
I think 49ers will win the division, but I think the Seahawks will put up a fight. I like Geno Smith. I like Geno a lot. But I think the Niners will probably win that division.
Mike?
Niners. Hands down.
Dad?
Niners.
I'm going with the Seahawks.
Hey, it'll be close, I think.
I think the Seahawks. I like Geno Smith. I think he's the best quarterback in the division right now. And they're loaded. They're a sneaky loaded team all over the board. They're young, but they're loaded. I don't. The 49ers, they're not doing a good job of just solving this quarterback thing already. I think that's going to come back and bite them in the ass.
No, but their defense is so good that
But eventually, you got to get the quarterback. I mean, I think I like the Seahawks. I'm going with the Seahawks. But all right, we'll go to the AFC now, and we'll start. We'll do the West last since that was the highlight of the show. We'll go to the North. Corey, who do you got in the North? Yeah, go ahead. Take the air raid.
You already know what I'm gonna say. Lamar Jackson, the Ravens.
Yeah. All right, he's going with the air raid. Mike?
Biased, but like from what I've seen, Browns.
I'm taking the Browns too. Go ahead, Dad.
Browns.
All right. We'll go to the East now. This is gonna be a good one. You got the Jets, you got the Bills, you got the Patriots, and you got the Dolphins. Mike?
I know you and I disagree heavily on this, but I'm still going with Buffalo.
Corey?
Buffalo.
Dad?
I'm going Jets. I just think Rodgers just has a monster year. I just think he's, I heard he made a comment. He said, playing in Green Bay that long in that market, you just get complacent. And now he can't be complacent. He's in New York, and he's going to respond to all that pressure. He's going to have a monster season. So I'm going Jets.
I'm going Jets too. Although when I watched the Hard Knocks episode, the only thing I don't like about them is I think they're a little too cool of a culture. Their culture's a little too cool. They're too friendly with each other. I think that could bite them in the ass because you do hit adversity at some point. But I think they're more talented overall. I think they're, I'm going with Rodgers too. I just think they're going to win. I don't like the Bills offseason with Diggs and Allen feuding publicly like that, and it never really got addressed. So maybe it did. I didn't see it got addressed. I just saw the feud. I don't know if I really like that. I think that kind of implodes at some point. So I'm gonna go with the Jets. Then we'll go to the South now. I got the Jags.
I agree.
Mike, who do you got?
Jags.
Corey?
Jags.
Jaguars.
Yeah, that's an easy sweep there. Trevor Lawrence. Now, this is the one we were debating about. Mike, we'll get back. We'll let you take back your point you were making earlier. The AFC West. Mike and I don't think the Chiefs are as good. Yes, they have Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback of football. But like you were saying, Mike, the defense is kind of imploded. Chris Jones is probably out the door. They don't really have a great receiver room. They don't really have like an A1 running back.
Yeah.
They lost Orlando Brown on the line. I'm going to make my pick, and I'll let you guys debate it. I'm going to go with the Chargers.
I'll agree with you. I think it's open, though. I think the Raiders, you said a sneaky team. You think that's the Giants? Yeah, I think that could be the Raiders.
I mean, here, I hope. I mean, the Raiders have some nice pieces. I like their draft. They drafted Trey Tucker, so I'm, rooting for the Raiders a little bit. But, Corey, who do you got?
Chargers, but it could come down to the Broncos too, because I feel like with the new coach, they did lose two of their wide receivers though, so that's a big.
Yeah, they had a key off. The guy who's the guy they lost in the injury again. He's out for the year. They said out Denver he was a big loss.
Yeah. But I would probably pick the Chargers just because they're just all around complete team. I like their running game. I'd go with the Chargers.
Austin Eckler.
Yeah.
I agree. Dad, who do you got?
Chargers. It's like, I think Herbert has the best season he's ever had. So
I agree. All right. Well, we'll do this real quick then. You guys all got your picks for the division. We'll do an early prediction. Who's your Super Bowl early prediction, Mike?
I'm going biased.
Hold on. I think
all the way biased.
Okay.
Browns. Ooh. I think Browns Lions would be awesome.
Browns.
That would
versus
be
the Lions.
that would be great. Man,
You got the, so you got the Browns versus the Lions.
Yeah.
All right. They used to be like the shittiest game of the year too, like 5 years ago.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be hilarious if that's actually the Super Bowl this year? The Browns and the Lions, the tortured fan base Super Bowl.
Dad, who do you got in your Super Bowl prediction? Early prediction.
It's tough in the NFC.
It is tough.
Do you want me to run down you got in the NFC? We all took the Lions, Eagles, 49ers, Seahawks, and Saints and Falcons. Those were our division winners. That one of us.
I'm going Browns because I think the Browns are getting some help, like we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
The Browns. I'm going Browns, Eagles.
Okay, so you think the Eagles are going to make it back?
There's just too much talent, and again that draft. I mean, all those guys they kept getting from Georgia. I mean, my gosh, I don't care who the hell you put on their coaching staff. I mean, you got those kind of guys. I mean, I still think they're going to be there.
Yeah.
So Browns, Eagles.
Corey, what do you got?
Browns win.
Brownies, he said. I think it's going to be Bills. I think that sour taste in their mouth. I think from the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are definitely going to have a hangover. I think the Bills, Josh Allen's ready to move up to that next level, and I think the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl. And they're probably going to play. Man, I don't know who they're going to either Philly. I don't know if I trust the 49ers to go that far with Brock Purdy or Trey Lance. It would be definitely with Brock Purdy over Trey Lance, but I just don't know if the Eagles can make it again. I really don't know in the NFC. I think the Bills are going to win it all. I think the Bills are probably going to have either 1 or 2 losses. I think it's.
I know you want to take the Falcons coming out of the NFC, don't you?
Nah.
No.
We're probably not even. Yeah, we're not going to make the playoffs. To be honest.
You said they're going to win the division.
Nah, I'm just talking shit.
Oh, Corey.
Oh, man. Well, who do you got coming out of the NFC then?
I'll say the Eagles. I'll say the Eagles. But I think the Bills are going to win it all, yeah. They're going to do it for DeMar Hamlin.
All right. I'm going to go. You know what? I'm going to take the Browns, too. I just think it's wide open for them. I'm going to take the Browns. I think the Browns, maybe Jets, AFC Championship game. And then I'm going to take I'm just going to be different. I'm going to take the Seahawks going to the Super Bowl.
All right.
It's going to be different. And I'm going to take the Browns that we have the better quarterback.
All right. One last thing, though. Who's going to be the MVP?
Oh, that's a hot take. Hot take question here, Mike. This is tricky. Who's the MVP of the league this year? I'm gonna go Justin Herbert.
I'm gonna go. I think this is gonna be a weird year. I have a weird feeling, and it's gonna be a weird year. That this is gonna be a year where a quarterback doesn't win the MVP. I'm going to go, and this is a very hot take, I'm going to go Justin Jefferson.
Whoa.
I don't think the Vikings do much, but I think Justin Jefferson just has an absolute monster season and just makes it has almost 2,000-yard receiving season, rivaling Calvin Johnson kind of thing. Because Justin Jefferson is that talented. Kirk Cousins is not that good. And in every game because of Justin Jefferson.
I'm gonna go with Herbert. I'm only going with Herbert because. Oh, hey.
Hey, everybody.
What's going on? Hello.
I'm gonna go with Herbert because if they beat the Chiefs, in the win the division, overtake the Chiefs in the division, he's in LA. Because he's in LA, I think he's gonna win. That's why I'm picking Herbert, and I think he's gonna have a monster year. But, Dad, who do you got for MVP then?
Well, I like that about Herbert, but I think it'll be Rodgers because I think Rodgers is going to have the monster year. New York media. I also think Watson's going to have an unbelievable season, but I just think the media is against him.
Oh yeah, he's never going to
win. He's never going to win.
Yeah, just because all that bullshit, and he's in Cleveland, so it's never going in his favor.
He could throw for 300 yards in the Super Bowl and win it for us, and he will not get the Super Bowl MVP.
Right.
They'll find give someone else. Look into Miles or something.
Corey, who's your MVP this year?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. All right. Well, there's you guys. We gave a season preview for you guys for the NFL this year. We all got, let's see, Mike, myself, and my dad. We all had the Browns winning. Corey's got the Bills. What's that?
Talking shit.
Okay. Yeah. And then Corey picked the Falcons to win the division, and now he's backpedaling. So now he's not picking the Falcons. So, huh?
Corey.
What?
We got to go to that Green Bay Falcons game like we planned. You still got to do that. I told Corey I'd go to a Falcons game with him because he hadn't been to one. And I was like, the Green Bay one's probably the closest. We'll go to that one. And I'd love to see Lambeau Field. They have a restaurant there.
It will be cold.
It will be cold. They have a restaurant there with a live goat who lives on the roof and eats the grass on. It's the weirdest thing in the world. My wife's aunt and uncle pictures of it. They have like a grass roof, and there's a goat that just hangs out on top of it and eats the grass. It's really weird.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mike, you got any? I know you had something on your mind earlier, Mike. You were a little, fed up again. Mike's been on rants lately. People are pissing him off. Mike, what were you pissed off about earlier?
It's one of those things, right? That like, it's gonna be a more calm rant because I'm a little sleepy boy right now, but I'm gonna rant about it.
Calm rant.
I'm a sweet little sleepy boy right now. So okay. I'm sick of all the negativity. Like, unlike the Falcons, right? We have stuff to hope about as Browns fans. And I'm sick of the negative Nancy.
Bro.
And I'm sick of Tony Grossi. Shut up, Corey, I'm talking. I'm sick of Tony Grossi and Tony Rizzo like being like these just energy vampires for the optimistic Cleveland fans. Cleveland Browns fans. Every year is a different team. Every year is a new year for us to do something. And I know that's the running joke. Oh, there's always next year. Oh, there's always next year. Well, it's this year. And I've got hope. And you should have hope too. Because guess what? The Bengals, the year before they went to the Super Bowl, won like 3 games. And they sucked. And we didn't even do that bad last season. We won 7 games. We were competitive. And we're going to be competitive again. We're going to win the division. We're going to go to the Super Bowl. I feel it in my bones. And then we're not going to lose like the Falcons do.
And you're going to tell Adam Rank how Ronnie was.
Oh, dude.
Hey, you won the same amount of games you won last year. So don't get me started.
I know, but like that's like easy. I could there. It's the NFC South. I mean, really.
Hey, he beat Tom Brady on his last game ever.
Yeah, Tom Brady beat himself. Tom Brady. No, actually, you know who beat Tom Brady really that season? His wife.
Who?
His wife. His wife is the reason he kept losing. Giselle. Got him good. Getting smoked. But Browns fans, rejoice. It's gonna be all right. In game 1,
look forward to.
You sack Joe Burrow 8 times. It's gonna feel so good. Rejoice. And what did you say, Corey? Talking shit again?
I said the Browns are the only thing you guys get to look forward to.
Why?
What do you mean?
That's it. That's the only team. I mean, the Guardians.
Wait a second.
Well, who gives a shit about the Guardians? What about Ohio State? We're looking forward to Ohio State, too.
Nowhere.
Are you
No,
already?
we're
Are
the
you?
best player in the country.
They got to get
Are
through.
you already shit talking already? College football, Corey?
Yep.
Oh.
You got to get through.
Oh
the powerhouse
damn.
team.
We'll see,
Get through
buddy.
the what?
The powerhouse team, the 2-time defending national champions.
Oh gosh. Come on.
Yeah, we're not worried about that.
When the
Um,
clock struck,
Georgia's janitor gets a scholarship to be the quarterback now that the mailman's gone.
yeah, who's your 26-year-olds you're strutting out there now?
I think they're just going to throw Kirby Smart out there. Have him be hiking the ball. That'll call him plays.
2-time national champs.
Yeah, whatever, Corey. We'll see. Yeah. So, Mike, that's your soft rant for this week. Nice little soft
Soft.
rant, right?
Yeah, I'm in a good mood. The
Are you still
preseason
pissed?
game-
Are you still pissed at Adam Rank?
Oh, I'm gonna be mad, and as soon as we start the season well, which I think we will start the season really well and strong, I am going to quote tweet Adam Rank every time he's wrong, which I foresee being a lot until they fire him. I want him to lose a job.
All right.
Yeah, I'm watching you that.
All right. Corey, I gotta ask you. You golfed with my buddy today, Kyle, and his son Nick. Shout out to Nick and Kyle. I know them both real well. How did the golf game go? Kyle might be watching this, so shout out to Kyle.
Shot a 48 on the front.
How's your golf? How's your golf?
He's
All right. How's your
a
golf
pro
season
caddy.
going so far this
I
year?
did not know that. That's pretty cool.
Oh, I know. Yeah. He's a caddy.
Yeah, he was telling everybody at the course, I'm pretty good. And I was like, hey, I'm not bad for 5 years in it, Shot a 42 on the front. Can you hear me?
How'd your performance going so far this year?
Oh, it's gotten a lot better. I'm
Wait,
in that
Corey,
low-
you shot a 52?
Yeah,
I thought it would be 28, 3 under par. Doesn't that numbers?
and I'm playing from the Blues, Mike.
No, but 28 and 3 under par.
What?
What?
28
If
and
he
3,
shot a
dude.
28, it'd be like a record, dude.
It's
Shout out
a
to you,
Falcon.
Chad. Congrats on the house
You
too to you
got it.
and,
You got
and
it.
your wife. Shout out to both you guys.
28 to 3.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah,
Nice
there you
intro.
go. You finally got it.
Whatever. Yeah, my golf game's getting better though. It's short game's improving, putting better, getting off the tee. In that low mid 40s, just trying to break 30s. Trying to break that 39. That's my goal. Got a couple more
Are you
weeks.
playing any new
left.
courses this year?
Yeah, I played Chippewa. I played that for the first time.
I need to ask you, how is John Potok and golf? I need to know
Oh
this
my
question.
God.
I need to know how my. I need to know.
I
How,
got
you play
my
with,
dad out there to play.
how is Zach? How is Zach?
I'm gonna get
playing
out
as
there,
well?
dude.
I didn't know how
actually,
Zach's playing as well.
Joe, and then his boy is real good. John, he just started. So, my dude brought a 12-pack. He didn't.
Was trying to wrestle a deer.
Trying to
Yeah, trying to
wrestle
wrestle
a
a deer.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's
How,
good.
how was Zach? Did you golf with Zach?
Yeah. Yep.
I've seen Zach and Zach. I don't know if you remember. This is when we were like 12 years old. We went to Downview one time, and Zach literally swung the club and let the bitch fly out of his hand, the driver, and it went flying into the.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's a good time.
I always remember that. But did Zach play? Have you played with Zach?
Yeah, I think once.
So how was John and Zach's golf game? I'm curious. I'm curious to see John play golf. I need to see this in person.
Apparently he just started, but he's playing on. He paid like fucking $2,000 for a set of clubs. Joe was like, yeah. Joe told him, hey, go buy a starter kit. My dude bought a $2,000 golf set.
No, John ain't doing that. John's buying the best clubs he can find. He's trying to get any advantage he can.
But he plays a lot, so
All right.
it's definitely a good time when he's out there.
Yeah. So you got the Thursday night tournament going. Yeah, I need to see this in person.
Oh, you'd have to. Yeah, it's a good
Mike,
time.
you ever gonna get back on the golf clubs again, Mike?
He's retired.
He's a
Retired.
one-hit
You're
wonder.
retiring me.
He retired.
He's a one-hit wonder that night.
One hit wonder.
Here, I mean, Clay was willing to give him all the instruction he needed.
My stance was
got an
good.
instructor.
Yeah, and Holly told you how to loosen up.
Yeah, wow.
Hey, Mike, how did Holly tell you to loosen up, Mike?
I can't quite remember exactly what she said, but Holly was having fun that night. Yeah, no, I seriously. I do remember us all doing, or like, I'm not gonna say it. I can't. He'll get in trouble.
Yeah, behind the scenes, Fred Martin Nissan. But, all right. Well, you guys got anything else on the way out of here? Anybody? Corey, you got a hot take, Corey?
No hot takes, man.
No hot take. Shout out to Zav too. How's it? You and Zav back together now at the dealership? How's that been? The GABA. Let's bring the GABA. What's it like having your boy Zav back? Bring the energy.
It's awesome.
All right.
Bring that energy in the showroom. Absolutely.
Mike, you got anything else on the way out here you want to plug? Actually, you know what, Mike? Go Braves. Mike, why don't you go Braves? Mike, why don't you do? You want to do an ad for us for Fred Martin Nissan? You're a great ad guy. You come find your man Corey.
If you need a brand new Nissan or like model vehicle or high quality pre-owned, there's only one place to go. Fred Martin Nissan, with a free lifetime powertrain warranty, 3 years of free oil changes and roadside assistance. Ohio's #1 used car dealer. Fred Martin Nissan. They know cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, way to go, Mike. You know cars.
You're wild, Mike.
You're wild.
I could do radio.
You should.
This laugh is amazing.
Dad, you got anything on the way out of here, Dad?
Nope. Just everybody have a good week, and we'll got to do it again. Corey, you got to keep getting up here. No more keyboard warrior.
Yeah, no more keyboard warrior, Corey.
Madden comes out this week. Let's go. New Madden.
Oh yeah, when we got to do the Madden tournament at the house, bud.
Oh yeah, I'm all about it.
I don't know.
Morosco keeps asking. We'll set it up outside.
We'll set it up. Yeah, we'll set it up.
Let's get that set up because Corey claims he's going to beat anybody.
I'll play.
You got to come get the new console with the new Madden.
I'll play.
Gotta come get it.
Whatever.
We're coming to see you.
We'll set it up outside.
You pick my team.
And Morosco's got the whole setup.
Yeah. We'll look it up.
All right. We play Man 20 for all you Stenson Bennett and just throw dots. I'll throw dots.
This is Madden, Corey.
I'll beat you guys with Josh Dobbs.
This is Madden, not NCAA football. Yeah, boy. We're gonna get you a Stetson Bennett jersey. Mike. We need to get him a Rams Stetson Bennett jersey.
I need one, man.
Yeah, I bet.
Can you buy one?
I think. I mean, they make them. They make Charlie Hewlett jerseys. You can buy a Stetson Bennett jersey. You can buy anybody.
When he's a starting quarterback,
we get the Lawn Snappers jersey.
Yeah, they do. I mean, shit, it's off Fanatics.
You get the Lawn Snappers jersey.
Corey, you get the 20 cards this month. We'll get you a Stetson Bennett jersey.
That's his reward?
Yeah, you get a Stetson Bennett jersey.
The backup quarterback. Is he even the third? Is he the second string? What is he?
I think he is the second string.
All right, he better be.
With the performance like the other night, he might be the starting.
He's too high of a pick to be anything but.
He's hot right now, dude. He's hot. He's hot, dude.
All right, I
He's all about it, Mike. He's all about. It's a hot way to live, Mike. It's a hot way to live.
You guys beat the third string Commanders. Congratulations, Mike.
First string, but yeah.
Yeah, Sam Howell is their quarterback, so
yeah,
that's worth. It's the hot way to live, Mike.
Hey, we took their first quarterback because we wanted him so bad, you know.
Yeah, well, we still got Watson. The Falcons did it, so that's all that matters. So
that's all that matters.
At the end of the day,
right.
At the end, you got just.
Oh man, I'll resend that meme to you when we win our division.
Okay.
One, it has 28-3 with the Browns is 3, and then the Falcons is 28, and then it just has Deshaun Watson in the background.
Yeah.
I hope you guys win it, man.
All right.
All the money, I hope.
All right.
Gentlemen,
Yeah,
it's been a pleasure.
it's been a pleasure.
Yeah. See you
All
guys.
right. I'll see you guys.
Don't
Thanks for
drown.
coming on. Thanks for coming on, Corey.
Absolutely, brother.
Thank you for having me as
Later.
always.
Love all you guys. Later. All right, you guys. Thanks for tuning in this week. Appreciate everybody interacting in the comments tonight. That was awesome. Chad, shout out to you. I saw in the end. Congrats to you and Jenna on buying your new home. Shout out to everybody in the chat tonight as well. Yeah, fun one tonight. Who do you guys got winning the AFC West? That was kind of the hot one tonight. You got the Chargers. We all picked the Chargers. You think the Chiefs are still going to reclaim it? Leave in the comments below. Like this video for me. Subscribe for me. Share this video for me if you like this content. And yeah, that's all we got for you guys. See you guys in the next one. I'm out of here. Gone.